LA this week.
Reaching for the stars and far beyond. I'm Gil Reyes at the special event at City Hall honoring groundbreaking Latina women, breaking barriers in science, technology, engineering, and math careers.
I'm Anna Marcos. A new ice skating rink that looks a lot like this, and it's coming to Reseda thanks to the LA Kings and the city. That's coming up.
An elephant made of walnuts, not something you see every day. I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, where you can see this elephant and why it's symbolic to the history of Los Angeles.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. The city celebrated its very first Indigenous Peoples Day. This event, which honors America's Native people, was capped off with performances from the Black Eyed Peas and Redbone. Gil Reyes has more.
They finally got their love, all right. After years of fighting for this designation, Native Americans at long last celebrated the first official Indigenous Peoples Day in Los Angeles. Native American Grammy winners Redbone capped off the festivities outside City Hall.
Our true history is finally getting acknowledged.
In this contract, there's no disrespect, so when I bust around, you break your neck.
Fellow Grammy winners, the Black Eyed Peas, also showed up for the party. The city and county of Los Angeles has replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day every second Monday in October from now on, an effort led by LA City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell.
No one should ever be invisible or silent when the truth is being denied. That's what this is about. We've been taught this false narrative all these years of discovery and of this benign conqueror. And the reality is Christopher Columbus and what he set in motion was a genocide.
O'Farrell, who is of Native American heritage, hosted the day's events. They included a fashion show, powwows, and panel discussions. Native American Alan Salazar visits schools to educate kids about the Chumash and Tataviam people.
I do that because I think it's extremely important that we tell our own story. The Native American story has not been told by us. And starting with Indigenous Peoples Day, it's the first step.
I'm just proud to be a member of the Los Angeles City Council that was involved in helping to shepherd in this change as an example for the rest of the country.
Because you've been wrong doesn't mean you have to stay wrong. You can go from bad to good, from wrong to right, from backwards to forwards. And so that's what we celebrate today that has meaning for all of us. And we also recognize the people whose land we stand on.
Other cities like Seattle and Portland have also replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day, but LA is the biggest city so far to do so. Also at City Hall, Latino women were recognized for showing they have the right stuff for careers that are out of this world. We meet some Latino Trailblazers who are encouraging more women like them to pursue careers in STEM fields.
Latinas boldly going where few women have gone before. Take NASA JPL's Diana Trujillo. She's honored at City Hall for breaking barriers in aerospace engineering.
I actually am an immigrant that came from Colombia when I was 17. I didn't know any English. I didn't have any money. I didn't even know what was going to happen with my life. And now I'm looking back and thinking, I actually lead a mission that's on the surface of Mars. This is insane.
Trujillo will lead the Mars rover expedition in 2020, while colleague Luz Maria Martinez Sierra is working on shielding spaceships from cosmic radiation. She too immigrated from Colombia and had to learn English while earning her degree.
If you really know what you want to do and if you really have that passion to follow that, it's possible.
Councilwoman Nuri Martinez hosted the honors to inspire more women of color to reach for the stars.
In a time where, unfortunately, our country and our leaders in Washington denigrate and have these awful impressions of immigrants who come to this country, you see the amazing women who didn't know a word of English when they came here, and now they're leading these amazing explorations. So that just goes to show you the amazing contributions of immigrants, but more importantly also of women.
Now all these accomplishments are particularly noteworthy considering the lack of Latinos in science, technology, engineering, and math careers. Consider that African Americans make up just 9% of that workforce. With Latinos, it's even less, at just 7%.
and even less for Latinas. NASA JPL's Cristina Diaz-Hernandez has a theory and solution.
Sometimes it's the idea that when you don't see somebody that looks like you, that comes from the same community that you, in the role and your dream job, it's very hard as a young student to envision yourself in that. And so that's why it is so important for people in all kinds of jobs to get out there so that students can see that they can get to your position because you look just like they relate to you.
Councilwoman Martinez also says the city is partnering with as many schools as possible to expand STEM programs in communities of color. The city and the LA Kings hockey team are building a first-of-its-kind ice rink together in Reseda. Anna Marcos has more on Councilmember Bob Blumenfield's plan to bring the first year-round public ice facility to Los Angeles.
Skating dreams of all sorts could soon become reality for kids in Reseda and the Valley, thanks to Councilmember Bob Blumenfield and Hockey Hall of Famer and LA Kings president Luc Robitaille. The two have signed an agreement to build the Reseda Ice Rink, the city's first year-round public ice facility.
Day in and day out, it's going to be used by kids in leagues, by people who want to figure skate and practice their figure skating, by even the curling team.
We love the game of hockey, and to have another opportunity, a bigger opportunity to share the game that we love so much, the opportunity of kids skating. You know, it's not just about hockey. We're going to have a lot of figure skaters going there, a lot of public sessions.
Everything we do today, from building youth hockey in China to playing games in Utah, to building ice rinks in the Valley, is about growing the game.
Blumenfield found the funds through Prop K, approved by voters in the 90s. Still, it wasn't enough to build a first-class $26 million rink.
I call Rec and Parks, hey, what can we do with $3.9 million? And at the end of the day, they could build a couple of ice cubes. That's about it.
He approached the Kings and said, I want to build a rink, and I have money. They said, great. And then he said, oh, by the way, I have $3 million, and it costs $26.
Blumenfield kept calling. Now, years later, he finally has the money and a building site on Sherman Way in Reseda. For him, it's part of a larger plan.
The idea is to transform that area with catalytic development and making Sherman Way from what it is right now, which is a street with great bones, but that has been suffering, into a great street in Los Angeles.
This is one of several practice rinks at the Toyota Sports Center in El Segundo, but the Reseda rink will be even larger than this. It will be a professional, regulation-sized rink. In other words, a rink like the Toyota Center's biggest rink where the LA Kings play.
It's going to bring amazing opportunities for a lot of youth who would have otherwise never had an opportunity to skate or participate in hockey.
Groundbreaking could begin as early as next year.
The ice rink will be owned by the city, but will be managed by the LA Kings. The project is part of Councilmember Blumenfield's initiative, Reseda Rising. Police dramas have long been a staple in Hollywood, and many of those who've pursued policing as a career credit the early impact of such shows. We take you to 10-4 Day, a unique car show that salutes your favorite cinematic cop cars.
Film and TV cop cars that influenced generations of young people to pursue careers in law enforcement get set to hit the streets.
This, of course, is 10-4 Day, 10-4 being October 4th. It's also CB slang for acknowledgement between law enforcement officers when they're in their squad cars. It's a day to pay homage to those officers who keep our city safe.
The annual Cop Car Parade through Hollywood was co-founded by Gary Goltz and Tom LaBonge, sparked by their childhood obsession with the 50s series Highway Patrol.
Those of your audience who are baby boomers and in my generation clearly know that Broderick Crawford, the star of Highway Patrol, was often seen leaning over his 55 Buick, screaming into the mic, 10-4, 10-4, 10-4, roadblocks, roadblocks everywhere, move, 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 move.
Joe Broderick Crawford was shot all over Los Angeles, from Griffith Park, Atwater Village, Los Feliz, the old Glendale train station, but also the message of safety.
Here's to our public safety personnel and their heroes on the big and small screens.
And my personal favorite, Kit from Knight Rider. This year also marked the 50th anniversary of the TV show Adam 12, credited for influencing a lot of young people to join the LAPD. Have you ever collected anything or know someone who does? Well, then you know each collection has a story to tell. And that's the focus of a new exhibit at LA's Central Library. Rasha Goel takes us on a tour of 21 collections.
It's the latest exhibit at the Central Library in downtown Los Angeles, and one that uncovers the art of storytelling through 21 diverse collections. 21 collections, every object has a story, takes us through the unique stories that are revealed through the accumulation of everyday seemingly objects.
It's really a celebration of the storytelling power of things that people collect, that this idea that when people bring things together, they're giving them a new life. We wanted to highlight the role of the public library as an important collecting institution in our society.
LaRue visited over 600 institutions to find these 21 collections. One of the things you won't miss is the life-size walnut elephant, built entirely out of walnuts. This elephant became symbolic of LA and toured internationally for at least 30 years.
This is actually a recreation of a historic exhibition that was launched by the LA Chamber of Commerce way back in 1893 for the Chicago World's Fair.
There is so much to see here, but one of my favorites is typewriters, which features the collection of Tom Hanks typewriters. Now, did you know that he owns 300, of which 7 are being featured here, and these were used as inspiration for his first book titled Uncommon Type. Another collection is comprised of the dioramas from the African American Museum of Miniatures that share stories of Black history and culture.
Which is a project by an artist named Karen Collins. And she was a school teacher. She still lives in Compton with her family. And in the early 1990s, her oldest son, Eddie, was sentenced to 167 years in prison on gang-related charges. And she became very depressed and was looking for a new direction in her life. So as a teacher, she had observed that many of the stories of African Americans were not being taught, not being preserved in traditional educational outlets. And so she took it upon herself to create these scenes of history in these shadow box dioramas to be able to share these proud moments as well as the struggles on the path to freedom and equality within the Black community and the greater American community.
People collect so many things, but candy wrappers is not something I would have necessarily thought of. And in this unique collection, the wrappers date all the way back to the 1930s.
This is a collection by a woman named Darlene Lacey, and when she was growing up in Southern California in the 1970s, she saw all her older friends had collections of things like beer bottles, and she thought that was very cool and wanted to create a collection of her own. But all she could afford at that time was candy. And so she started with a piece called Nice Mice. I think it was some kind of marshmallow candy. She liked the box. She didn't think it would be around forever. And it has grown since then.
From pencils to pictures, birds' eggs to straw horses, I can bet there's something that will pique your interest. In fact, I can say these truly are 21 unique collections that will get your mind wondering about how and why we collect things.
And you can see that giant walnut elephant for yourself. 21 collections will be featured at the Central Library until January 27 of 2019. Visit lfla.org/21collections for more info. Being underage didn't stop one woman from joining the LAPD. In fact, thanks to a new city program, she got paid experience to start her career at LAPD.
It's graduation day for a new breed of LAPD cop. That's Officer Mariah Delgado, the first officer hired by LAPD even before she was old enough to join the academy, through a program called Pledge to Patrol.
And it was awesome because by the time I got into the academy, I had the head start and nothing was really new. Everything I kind of had seen or heard about. So it was an awesome jump start for everything in the academy.
Let's go back a year ago. Mayor Eric Garcetti launched the first Pledge to Patrol class. The program allows high school graduates too young to join LAPD to work the front desk, take crime reports, and perform minor evidence collection, and with pay, up to $20 an hour. Delgado worked at LAPD's Rampart Station.
Even though she didn't carry the same badge, it was still her job already to protect and serve. Starting Sunday, Mariah's heading back to Rampart, but this time as a Los Angeles Police Department officer.
Pledge to Patrol is also called the Associate Community Officer Program, or ACOP. It gives aspiring officers real-world experience before they turn 21. That's the cutoff age for joining the academy. ACOPs can also pursue college degrees on the side.
We're looking forward to having many more go into the academy. We have several that are currently processing because they became age eligible while being an ACOP.
I'm the second generation in my family of police officers, and it's awesome. I can't wait to go on with my career and start young.
To qualify, ACOPs must have previously served in the cadets or other LAPD youth programs. The mayor says the hiring process will prioritize diversity and women. Well, for decades, it's been a wellspring of creativity in South LA. Now, Watts Towers becomes an even more creative place as residents mark the 42nd annual Watts Towers Jazz Festival and the unveiling of a new statue.
It was a bigger celebration than usual at the Watts Towers Jazz Festival as residents got a peek at a statue of the man who made these Watts Towers a reality back in 1954. Simon Rodia's diminutive image now becomes a permanent part of the iconic landmark.
The size of Simon Rodia was always a question as to how tall he was. So this information was taken from an actual artifact that was on the Watts Towers that he was standing next to. He's actually 5'2". For years, people thought he was 4'11".
We wanted our community to see this man. Many people thought he was black, but he was Italian, an Italian immigrant. So we want to put other of our mentors and elders on the campus so our young people can see where their heritage comes from.
Rodia worked on the Watts Towers for 33 years before finishing, and it's no wonder it took him so long when you look at the raw materials he used.
He was one of our leaders in recycling before recycling was popular. That's what Simon did. There's glass and shells and ceramics and all of that in the towers that were recycled.
While some came to size Rodia up and take selfies, others came to enjoy all that jazz. And still others came for the clothes, the crafts, and the food.
So it brings together Simon's past, where he came from, Italy. It brings together what he's done, and then the current artists in residence or art things that we do here.
Artist sculptor Charles Dixon sums up the community spirit.
So I've learned that when I do a piece, I empower the community with it. And it belongs to community.
Watts Towers also has an art center with artists in residence to inspire people to create for themselves and the community.
Did you know Watts Towers offers free guided tours around the iconic art center? Well, for more info, check out wattstowers.org/tours. No moving cars for miles, just pedestrians, cyclists, skateboarders, and music. October, CicLAvia honored the 100th anniversary of the LA Philharmonic. We take you to the kickoff, which set the tone for the entire day.
Before all the cycling, skating, and walking, the car-free street fair known as CicLAvia kicked off on a high note. Outside Disney Concert Hall, Gustavo Dudamel, the LA Philharmonic music director, led a youth orchestra to celebrate a century of the LA Philharmonic.
It's a great way to pay homage to all the people, the community, to celebrate with them with music, having fun, breathing, and enjoying this beautiful city, so it's great.
And they're off. No cars to worry about for miles through Grand Avenue, MacArthur Park, Koreatown, and Hollywood, with live musical performances set up as pit stops throughout the entire route.
And the day is going to end at the Hollywood Bowl with a performance by the LA Phil. So it's a typical CicLAvia in that there is a route of several miles. It's about an 8-mile route. And the fact that it goes through the heart of my district, the 13th, makes it extra special for me.
Hollywood Councilman Mitch O'Farrell among the thousands of people excited to be here.
Hello!
If you missed it, you missed out.
Just want to do a shout out to all my friends and family out there. They should be here right now, missing you all.
The good news is the next CicLAvia is coming up soon, on Sunday, December 2nd.
The next CicLAvia on December 2nd will roll through Chinatown, downtown Los Angeles, and Boyle Heights. More info at CicLAvia.org. It's a festival that attracts big names in Latin, jazz, and pop music. Anna Marcos takes us on a whirl around the dance floor at the 5th Annual Jazz and Music Festival in East LA.
It was just another great reason to have a good time. The annual Latin and Jazz Festival brought out a little of the habanera in all of us. Councilmember Gil Cedillo, who started it all, even dressed for the part in a habanera shirt. He says Latin jazz is a unique American tradition.
The Latin side obviously has a rich history, Afro-Latin history, and then the American side comes from the jazz side, and so that convergence that took place in about the 40s has created a unique art form.
So how do people feel about Cedillo's free 2-day gift to the community?
Coming every year is a sense of pride. I love knowing that someone that came from my East LA roots managed to be this successful and then does this for his community. This is wonderful.
I'm enjoying this great music. I've been looking forward to it the whole week, relaxing here with my wife.
And it sure did look like everyone was enjoying themselves. Okay, technically that doesn't look like Latin dance, but who's checking?
I think it's so great to get the community together. It's just great, fantastic. Applause to the people who put this together.
And Latin/jazzy/American art? Sure, why not? We get the feeling a lot of these people will be back again next year, whether it's for the cake, the dancing, or both.
This year, the festival devoted a day for an all-women lineup of performers featuring local favorite Selinamos. LA goes pink for breast cancer awareness. We get all together as one at the 45th Annual LA Korean Festival, and the city breaks ground on a new 50-acre park in Porter Ranch. All these stories in Citybeat. Councilmember Gil Cedillo partnered with the American Cancer Society, Susan G. Komen Los Angeles, and the Breast Cancer Foundation's LA Goes Pink campaign to kick off Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the city of LA in honor of his late wife, Ruby Cedillo, whom he lost to breast cancer in 2002. As part of the hashtag PinkLA campaign, LA City Hall, along with several landmark buildings, were lit up in pink.
Breast cancer impacts 1 out of 8 women, their families, their children, their parents, their spouses, all their loved ones, and I know that experience intimately.
The 45th Los Angeles Korean Festival was held recently at Seoul International Park. The theme was All Together as One. The festival featured authentic food, unique programs, and various performances that spread awareness of Korean beauty and traditional culture throughout the city of Los Angeles. Councilmember Mitch Englander broke ground on a new 50-acre park in Porter Ranch. Bloom Park, named after 2 San Fernando Valley residents, will have panoramic views of the San Fernando Valley and surrounding mountains and will feature modern amenities.
We're building a pavilion where we're going to have live music for the community on the weekends. We're going to have splash pads and bocce ball courts and picnic areas and play areas. It's just going to be incredible.
Thanks to a partnership between the city and the LA Clippers, local kids will see 345 renovated basketball courts in all parts of Los Angeles. We take you to the grand opening of the first Clippers community court at Normandie Rec Center in South LA.
A pop and some confetti, and this basketball court is now officially a Clippers community court. The LA Clippers paid for the new floors, the basketball hoops and headboards, and the scoreboard. And that goes for the courts both inside and outside at the Normandie Rec Center. Kids at this Clippers basketball clinic were excited.
Anyone that ever wants to learn how to play basketball, they could come here and learn how to play.
Why is it good to learn basketball?
Because then you're doing exercise. You're exercising your hands. Yep, it's really good. You get stronger,
But that's not all. The LA Clippers have donated a whopping $10 million to rehab 345 basketball courts. That's every indoor and outdoor court in LA's Department of Recreation and Parks.
Our mayor has a big vision for this city, for a future where every child in this region has a safe place to play. And we know that sometimes leveling the playing field means just providing one in the first place.
Reach for things you think you will never hold in this world, because every so often you actually do get to grab that. We reached beyond our grasp, or what we thought was our grasp. We wanted to fix up a few gyms, and now every single gym and every single outdoor court in Los Angeles will be the best anywhere in the world.
Basketball and team sports are very important to the development of young people. They learn goal setting, they learn teamwork, they learn collaboration, they learn what it means to win and what it means to lose, and how to be both a good winner and a good loser. And those are the skills that will make you successful in life.
It matters a huge deal to the youth that are using these courts when they come in. It's something in the families that they could be proud of. It's fresh, it's new.
The LA Clippers mascot's athletic feats help provide a festive atmosphere. Meanwhile, Clippers guard Lou Williams had a message for the kids.
You know, to the young people in the room, I hope you guys understand how important this is and how meaningful it is for them to do this for you guys. Take advantage of the opportunity, take advantage of the facilities.
Soon, these Clippers community court logos will be popping up at every basketball court in LA's parks, and with them, a chance to be inspired to succeed and a chance to play ball.
Many of basketball's greats credit community courts like these for helping them hone their skills. You never know, maybe one of these courts will help a young boy or girl get their start towards the 2028 Olympics here in LA. We'll, of course, keep you posted. It's that time again for some Halloween fun at Boo at the Zoo. Enjoy the ultimate Oktoberfest celebration in Pershing Square, and a barbecue competition among firefighters heats up. All this in this week's Things to Do. Boo at the LA Zoo invites you to feed your imagination with skin-crawling fun and spooktacular learning throughout the entire month of October. Weekend activities include up-close encounters and demonstrations with the zoo's most fearsome, frightening, and misunderstood residents, along with fun animal feedings. Plant eaters will relish creature treats such as pumpkins, while carnivores will devour their favorite fare, carcasses and bones, during fearsome feedings. Pumpkin carving demonstrations, a spooky stroll where you can enjoy Halloween activities, mini pumpkin patch, and capture frightfully good snaps at the many beautiful photo ops along the way. So make your way to the LA Zoo. All the fun takes place throughout the month of October. The third annual Oktoberfest is coming to Pershing Square in downtown LA this fall. Spend the weekend living it up during this fun cultural event. Local beers from LA and authentic German ales will be available to taste or buy, along with sausages, pretzels, and of course live music and dancing. The weekend is the perfect chance to celebrate with a cold brew and a great group of friends. So come enjoy everything Oktoberfest has to offer. The fun takes place on Saturday, October 20th at Pershing Square. The Fire It Up barbecue competition is back, with firefighters competing for the title of Best Barbecue. There is free admission featuring a live band, DJ vendors, barbecue tastings, VIP packages, celebrity judges, and activities for kids. Fire It Up is a fundraising partnership between two nonprofits that serve and honor the firefighting community. Proceeds will benefit Fire Family Foundation and the African American Firefighter Museum. The competition takes place October 20th from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Firefighters First Credit Union in Eagle Rock. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org and check out our newest social media videos, LA This Minute. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.